Picture this. You were just born, a sympathy of new sounds. The nurses are rushing around. Announcements echo, voices call. The light is bright, the air is fresh. You scream as the doctors take you. Then everything stops. A soft voice, a loving tone, a rhythm so known. You are now in your mom's and dad's arms for the very first time. See, this is your first relationship. See, the definition of relationship is written in the way or two or more concepts, objects, or people are connected, or the state of being connected. Hi, I am Ellie from Drop Back Podcast. Today we're going to go over the 4 main types of relationships. So sit back, drop back, and listen to what we have to say. A child and their mom and dad is supposed to be a relationship that is typically supposed to be supportive. It's supposed to be caring. It's supposed to be a good influence and love all around. Sometimes this may not be the norm for all children to have. That relationship with their parents, where they walk in and they're happy all the time. So now we are going to discuss with our guest Yudoka and her relationship with her own parents. So Yudoka, how are you and your parents? Do you still love your parents after they continuously hurt you?
Hurt is a strong word because it's not physical hurt. It's just mental, verbal hurt, really, And like they provide a lot for me. At the end of the day, I still love my parents, but sometimes they hurt me as well. They put a roof under my head. They gave me food. They gave me my necessities. They gave me a lot. I still love them. They're still my parents at the end of the day. I can never say I hate my parents. It's just I have a strong feeling towards them. The things that they do isn't good sometimes, but we'll learn as we get there.
So you only love your parents because they provide you with the shelter?
No, because they're always there for me.
So it's through the support?
Yeah, through the support, really. Because my family, we really aren't like a, that physical, what's like a physical, no, not physical, wait. What's that, the physical,
like them hugging you, them saying that they love you?
Exactly. We're not really like that. We're just, they just say, they're not really like that. They're not, what is that word? They're not,
it's just the actions.
Yeah, it's the actions. They're not really, they don't say, they never really said I love you. I never heard them say I love you. Yeah. I literally never heard them say that before. And it's just like, okay. Like, I know they love me deep down. They just, they're not the type to say that word. It's just like in our, culture and stuff, Yeah, I don't know. But I feel, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Okay. Is this a healthy relationship or is it a survival relationship where you're just waiting to get out of the household?
I wouldn't say it's a healthy relationship or a survival relationship because I'm not struggling in the deep inches. I'm not getting abused or anything like that. So I wouldn't say survival, but I'm saying I really do want to get out the house when I'm 18, It's just certain things that they do. And it's also not a healthy relationship also because they shouldn't, because sometimes they do things like that shouldn't be put on to me and brought on because they're in the wrong sometimes. I shouldn't be the one getting all the blame for every single thing, and I'm the one that they're mad at and then shut out. I shouldn't be that. That's not a healthy relationship, but also not a survival relationship because I'm not, deep in the trenches, struggling, getting abused. Other families, some families out there have it worse than I do. So, I can say I'm grateful, and I am waiting. Yeah.
Why do you think ignoring your problems is better than communicating?
Ignoring problems leads me out of trouble, and it just overall leads me to peace, because I don't want to be upset all the time. I don't want to keep crying all the time. If I ignore it, then it goes away sometimes. But yeah, I'm at peace with it. Nobody, there's always going to be yelling, of course. Just, I just tone everybody out, and then I just focus on myself, and just ignoring the problems is best at this point, with my parents at least. So yeah.
So you're at peace with not sharing your point of view?
It's not like I'm at peace without sharing my own opinion, but also if I do share my opinions, it comes off as disrespectful. It comes off, oh, you think you're grown now, blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
You're a big girl now. You have your own opinions.
yeah, but like I'm still in the Nigerian household, you know. They belittle their kids, you know. So you're still below them basically. We still have to always follow what they're doing, follow their opinions, do whatever they say, you know. Yeah, just till forever, honestly, till forever. Just because you're 18, I mean it's
Forever
Well,
what?
you see, you have your own freedom after though. You have your own freedom, obviously. It's just the way it is. Those are still your parents, you know. They're still you still owe them respectfulness, you know, all of that. So ignoring problems leads to a better outcome sometimes, and it just, you know, just go to your room and cry to yourself.
Well, don't you think parents' goal is to prepare you for the future? And are they preparing you for the future if they're belittling you?
I'm preparing myself for the future.
So you're your own person.
Yes, because I'm an independent.
So you should be able to speak your mind to your parents.
I'm just independent. I just what? I was just raised. I don't know. Like overall, like I don't know. I was just raised to be independent. You know, like from a little age, it's always been like me. From a little age, it's always been me. You know, I've always been the. I'm not the oldest, but I'm technically the oldest. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's just I have to be independent. I have to do everything myself. Yeah. It's just from a little age, I'm just started doing everything myself, relying on myself. You know, bettering myself, and then just focusing on my own mental. You know, and yeah, my parents don't really have to worry about me. So, am I going off topic? I think I am. Yeah, I think I'm going off topic. But yeah. What else? Anything else?
Well, that's it with my friend Nidoka.
Okay.
Children not being able to express themselves when somebody they lived with their whole lives may or may not be the reason why relationships with their parents can really hit the fan. I mean, I do understand that being critical, being direct, having rules set is good, and it does help build your character of your child to be respectful. But there is a certain point of you need to let your child express themselves. You need to communicate to your child why things happen in the household and why they do not. If you do not have an explanation on why you are doing things, then should it really be done? You know, if you send me in my room, you should explain why you're sending me to my room. Not because I'm being disrespectful, because I want to speak out towards you. Because communication is the best way to have a relationship. It's not, whys are considered a bad thing in the world. Don't say why, don't ask me questions. I'm your mama, boy. Like, no. I believe that is disrespectful to your child because they are asking their parent for guidance on what they did wrong so they can reinforce it, so they can fix it. And you tell them, no, don't speak back to me. No, you should know what you did wrong. Okay. I know it's hard. I know it can be hard, and I know that most of the things that parents do are good for the children. But what is good is to build a better relationship with your child, with strong communication, with creating a healthy relationship in your household where you want them to stay instead of want to run around when they're 18 years old. To create a place where they feel loved instead of constantly hurt, where they can tell you that they love you when they feel like it instead of being awkward to even say those words out loud. The truth is, it's hard to love and share yourself as one. It's hard to let fights go, let your opinions go, be happy on sad days, and be supportive when jealous. My opinion of relationship reflects on two things of my own. That I have been in a relationship for 3 years of my own, and obviously my parents. It's weird because I actually am fearful of dating, my dad cheated on my mom, and before that I saw no love in my household. I didn't even know how to love romantically, like in the movies where they kiss and say I love you. And then after the affair, it was even worse. It was like two people that wanted to kill each other. So saying that, it's weird that I would be in a relationship for, 30 years. But I think my parents' relationship has taught me that relationships are not always love, but you must fight through it. I don't want to make the mistake or let others let the relationship fail when more bad days come than good, because that's not the reality. You're not going to always have good days. But you also shouldn't cheat or judge your partner or isolate them when issues do come. Communication is the most significant thing to do. To get a more diverse range of relationships, I invited Gwen to talk about hers.
Hi, my name is Gwen, and I've been in a relationship for almost a year now.
Okay. Is it okay if I ask you a few questions?
Yes.
Okay. So the first question is, what challenges do you face that cause you to struggle to love your partner?
I feel like I have really bad trust issues, and that really makes me not put in 100% effort, because I'm scared if I put in this effort and there's something going on behind my back and I don't know about it, then I'm going to get myself hurt when I find out about it.
Okay. Second question is, what makes a relationship last and what destroys it?
What makes a relationship last is respect, consistent effort from both people, listening to each other, supporting each other, trusting each other, making sure they feel heard and valued, and yeah, that's about it.
Anything else?
No.
For the third question is, why do you think a romantic relationship goes farther than your relationship with your parents?
I feel like a romantic relationship goes further because you guys are around the same age, so you have more things in common. They can relate more. Rather than your parents, they're older than you, they have more experience, so they won't really understand you. They may dismiss you when you have problems, because they have that mindset of, oh yeah, they've been around longer than you have, so they know it all in a way. Yeah.
Do you think it's why the child gravitates more towards their partners and feels like they trust their partners more than their parents?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, thank you.
$7.21 billion people have phones around the globe. On average, those people spend 3 hours, in some countries like the United States, up to 5 hours. The relationship between people and their phones daily has become obsessive. Gen Z and Alpha attached to their phones like a ball and a chain. Think about how the future generation will be. We are influencing more and more negatively. It's probably the unhealthiest relationship out there. Kaylee is a good example of someone who relies on the relationship with their phone. She thinks the only solution to her problem is the device in her hands. It makes her too reliant on her phone that she may not always have available to her. For instance, it could die or she can lose it in literally 1 second. This could lead to separation from reality and cause other relationships to drift from being on her phone too much. Pleased to accompany us, Kaylee Camacho has joined our podcast to share a little information about how she feels about her phone.
Hi, I'm Kaylee.
I'm going to be telling you some questions about your phone relationship. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. So the first question is, why do you think you have the sense to take your phone wherever you go?
So I feel like I should take my phone everywhere I go because it gives me the way to communicate with my parents or my friends in need of emergency. If there's a school shooter, which has happened before, of a lockdown drill, I was able to contact my parents immediately. So it just lets me interact with them in a way that nothing else can let me interact with, my parents. I can't just go and see them. I have my phone right in front of me and I can just text them immediately. So that's one way.
Are there any other ways that you can think of?
Another way I can think of is I also take my phone everywhere I go because I can just post what I'm doing in my day, and my friends can see what I'm doing, and maybe that can influence them to do the same things and get influence on my daily activities throughout my day. So I feel like it's just all connected all around, and we're all just posting, we're all seeing what we're doing together. And that's one reason why I take my phone everywhere I go.
Okay, thank you. The second question is, would you be able to survive without your phone for 24 hours? Why or why not?
So this is a funny question because I would not be able to survive with my phone for 24 hours. I know that's like a crazy statement to say, but I believe that in our day and age, we need to have our phone everywhere we go, because not just to communicate with people, but it's also a safety hazard too, because now in society you hear so many people, getting trafficked and just all these stuff. So you see on your phone emergency hazards, we're getting shown that someone, something happened to somebody. So that's one reason why I carry my phone with me 24/7 throughout my day. And then another reason too is because I also get to post what I'm doing during my day, so my families and my friends can interact with me and see what I post on my stories.
Okay. And the third question is, why does your phone do what the real world cannot provide?
So what my phone does, again, I already said, I can communicate with other people, but it also gives me indirect communication. So I can communicate whenever I want, not just, talking in life with the people I associate with. It gives me a way to contact someone immediately. So anything that's happening in my day-to-day life, that's one way that I can communicate with people.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kaylee. Thank you.
Thank you.
The problem with only wanting to communicate on your phone can cause a distance between relationships that are right in front of you. For example, parents are in the other side of the room or friends on the next street. I don't know about you, but I don't want to go to no sleepover where my friends are glued to their devices. It's not fun and makes you feel like you're boring to hang out with. Am I the problem or what? Another bad effect is the obsessive posting. People have found a new way to get validation, their relationship with their phone. In 1 second, you can get a heart from your phone, your loving phone, okay? This can cause you to have a big ego or even a mental instability. Phones cause people to constantly compare themselves more to other bodies. I think without a phone, people can become humble and at peace with themselves. They can connect with other relationships they actually have in front of them and live life to the happiest. Woo! The most controversial relationship is your dedication to praise God. Going to church every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday is most people's lives. Others can't even comprehend or understand why somebody believes a God that's not even physically here. 72% of the global population believes in God. Science will always be on the other side. Most people believe that if I can't see it, then I don't believe it. To get a closer look into the connection with God, Yajoka is interviewing Xander that has a personal relationship with him.
Do you lose motivation and struggle to find your relationship with God? If so, explain.
I do often lose a lot of motivation and struggle to really feel the connection with God because, like we said in the question before, he really isn't physically here. I can't always feel him. I can't always go to him. With your actual earthly father here, you can always go to him. You can always ask him questions. He can give you advice in the moment, and that can be really difficult whenever he's not here. And you can lose motivation. You can lose sight of the benefits too. Oftentimes in a relationship, what it is you're giving them something and they give you something back. And whenever you're in a relationship with God, a lot of the things that he's giving you back are things you can't feel in the moment. Things like happiness in the end and salvation. These are things that you can't see or feel in the moment. So it's hard to feel like you're receiving anything from a relationship whenever you feel like oftentimes that you're giving a lot. You're giving your time, your efforts, and like even your money, and you're not getting like immediate gratification, immediate satisfaction, immediate return on your investment.
Do you feel like your relationship with God is one-sided?
I do a lot of times feel like my relationship with God is one-sided, especially from God's perspective, where a lot of times I'll take time in my life where God will go to the back of my mind, or there'll be seasons in my life where I'll forget to do the things to follow God's word and do what he wants for my life. And because of that, I often feel bad because I've been taught to do certain things for God, and so that I and God and my church knows how much I cherish this relationship. But I often can forget to do those things, or it'll fall to the back of my mind, and it'll become a one-sided relationship with God where I'm not putting in as much. And it'll also happen, the other way around, where I will feel it's one-sided whenever I feel desperate and whenever I am going through a hard time and I'm asking God for help, and I just personally don't have the eyes or the wisdom to see how exactly God is helping me in that moment, and it can feel often one-sided. Because I can go to anybody here and I can ask them for help, and they can help me in the moment in a very clear way, but God helps us in a way that we can't see, at all times. Sometimes it happens in ways that we don't know. And so because of that, it can often feel like a one-sided relationship for me and also for God. So it goes both ways.
Yes, it is hard to give all your time and effort to God. People often focus on things like work, cooking dinner, going to school, or even being with family. It is challenging to maintain a relationship with something we can't even see in a world full of materialistic relationships that surround us.
How do you have a relationship with a God that's not physically here?
So because of that fact that he's not physically here, it's often a pretty difficult thing. But for me personally, the way I often find myself being able to have a relationship with better is to more immerse myself in him, always be thinking about him. I think what would he do in every situation of every day, and I read the Bible. I do all these things that try and connect me to them, and it's these actions that I do every day that really tie me into my relationship with God.
The important thing about having a relationship with God is not to become too selfish with what you want to happen. Dedicating your time to God helps remind us of the love, sacrifice, and mercy God gave us. Doing these things like reading the Bible and studying God's Word help us connect with Him, who we can't see. It's important to maintain this relationship, or else we may lose sight of a purpose that God gave us, to live by His Word and teaching. Without walking by His side, we can fall into temptation. You lose yourself and try to look for a purpose that is nowhere to be found. You feel unloved and upset at everything. Having God in your life can awaken you. Relationships are part of every aspect of our lives, and I just wanted to remind people of how important and be thankful and respectful of the many relationships you have. That is it for the relationships I wanted to discuss. I'm out. Ellie.
And some may say God is dead. Well, I'm here to tell you, you are certainly wrong. From miracles all around us to the fact that we exist. Some may say that God doesn't love them, but He gave